Welcome back to Coin Vantage, your go-to for crypto insights and updates. Today we're delving into the latest on Bitcoin, BlackRock, and the exciting world of ETFs. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. As Bitcoin's price continues to skyrocket, many on the sidelines are debating whether or not to make a purchase. They now wish they had purchased Bitcoin at today's lower price. We'll be discussing where Bitcoin is headed in the near future. Is there going to be a slow reversal and then a downward trend, then resume, or will we keep heading up? We'll explain why the cryptocurrency market is experiencing such dramatic price increases recently, everything we have learned about trading in the cryptocurrency market. We will share with you. Don't go before you've seen everything. The content of today's video is crucial. If you look at Bitcoin's price action over a period of 4 hours, you'll notice that it's rocketing upwards. We were right about here. At around 30,500 yesterday. There was a tremendous push-up to our bold orange line here yesterday's evening, and we touched 30,100 or 31,100. We went all the way up to $35,000 before dropping back down to $33,000. So our resistance level clearly worked to drive the price of Bitcoin down. After that, there was support prompting the drawing of the orange line of resistance, and the price promptly pumped back up above $35,000. We are currently below the orange line shown above, and you can also see that Bitcoin's future is bright. What else can we say? They were trying to force down Bitcoin, but luckily we built this resistance. Bitcoin continues to perform splendidly from a technical perspective, and this is also true on a weekly timeline. We've been warning you about this for a few days now because this is where the resistance materializes on the weekly time frame, and boom, we smashed it as well, though only on a weekly basis this time. We will still have a few days here, and in fact most of the week. We still need to be cautious since there is room for retracement. However, the moving averages show that we were due from some enormous pumps as we are closed this weekly candle above the moving averages. And the same thing if we manage to end this weekly candle above this red line. Then it's looking probable that we're going to see some more pumps for Bitcoin. So far, everything seems to be going smoothly. The only thing is, what should you do if you're on the sidelines? If you're having been waiting to buy Bitcoin, you should know that we have been talking about how things are about to go bananas for Bitcoin, especially if you look at the long-term charts. And you may have missed it if you haven't been watching all of these videos here. So let's take a look at the big picture. This is our interpretation of the cycles at play and our predictions for the future. Consolidation is depicted by this box of teal, and large pumps may be seen following the green line. After the green line in this diagram, you can see the installation of enormous pumps, signaling consolidation. Just like there, consolidation occurs after the green line, and huge pumps are used. For the past few years, this has been our forecast, as well as internal consolidation, followed by enormous pumps after the green line. But unlike previous cycles, we believe that most of the gains will be made within the steel cage, as everyone will be looking at this and seeing what we are seeing, and will rush to enter before the green line appears. This is what we anticipate, and it looks good for us thus far. We put the floor of this steel cage at $23,000 because we didn't think it would go any lower than that. It held up surprisingly nicely so far, so we did get near. We came to $25,000, and this is at $24,000, so we did get close, but this is still holding, and everyone that accumulated as we moved closer to this dotted red line is making a lot of money. So if you're looking for an entry to Bitcoin, if you've been looking at getting into Bitcoin, but it's just getting too fast because yeah, this has been parabolic, remember that all parabolic things are not everlasting. When viewing the weekly time period, large candles can be seen here, and when viewing the daily time window, two large green candles can be seen for Bitcoin. Keep in mind that we don't be traveling straight up here all the time. In fact, we won't be even going in a parabolic shape like once a week. If you compare it to this, what we've seen in the past, you'll notice that we had 3 consecutive weekly green candles, followed by a retracement. Everything seemed to be rising in a straight line on a weekly timeline, even though this enormously parabolic era. Well, if we return to the same time period as in the daily time frame, we can observe that the lineup wasn't exactly straight. Instead, what happened was a pump followed by a 10% correction. Another uptick was followed by a 17% retracement, another upswing followed by a 12% decline. There was a surge followed by an 11% decline even here. You can see where this is going from here. Massive pump, pullback, 18%, extremely high increase, followed by a sharp decrease of 30%. And this is happening during one of Bitcoin's most meteoric rises. There have been 10% setbacks even at this stage. At most, we were only around 7% off. The big one right here is in front of you. On the way up, you'll encounter a 26% decline. You've got another one, and this one's a whopping 18% drop. Then the bear market begins. Of course, pullbacks of between 12 and 15% are to be expected, even if we go parabolic right now. If a correction were to occur now, we'd be in the beginning of that correction. We mean we'd be down to 30,100 if we did that. A drop of 15% would mean we'd be making less than $30,000. A 20% increase would bring us to $28,000. Again, Bitcoin's price would be $25,000 if we had a 30% cut. Therefore, you can count on these dips in the market at all times. But as we've been urging for a long time, you'll need to sort out your plan. Every time Bitcoin prices drop, we immediately buy them. Our plan is as follows. What we're doing is this. We are currently broadcasting this to you. You may still gain as we go down if you get in one of the pullbacks and get in the game now. If you've been sitting on the sidelines, okay, fine. Let's keep pumping up and down. However, a reversal is inevitable. So, if you're seeking to accumulate Bitcoin, that is at least some kind of approach you can perform. You can see that Ethereum price is currently sitting on the support level at 1,807. We must now turn to the traditional markets, the significance of which cannot be overstated. Even more momentum to the upwards is possible if the red line from yesterday holds, as we told you. And on a daily basis, it proved accurate. It held indeed. We dipped below the temporarily during the trading day, but it held. After reaching the red zone, there was a slight rebound. This made pace for Bitcoin and boosted trust in it. So, gentlemen, it looks like Bitcoin is going to benefit from everything we've discussed. And additionally, you can see that Bitcoin is outperforming most of the altcoins as well, up 10%. Alternate cryptocurrencies often range from 3 to 5%. There are also some that have increased, such as 20%, 15%, and 71%. Yet these are exceptional cases. The vast majority of alternative cryptocurrencies have a market share of 2, 3, or 4%. Therefore, Bitcoin currently removing a significant amount of money from the markets. Let's discuss some of the deals then. Everyone who have been employing these trading bots deserves congratulations. Currently, their gains range from 30.2% to 72.2%. These trading robots are bringing in huge sums of money. By the way, we're going to update the traders document right now, as is our custom. Also, we find this to be perplexing as converted orders, because as you may recall, we changed some of these bots positions into leverage positions even if they weren't profitable. Profit has been taken from the Bitcoin position. Ethereum's ranking was dropped to 5,700. However, this nearly ate into earnings as well. A gain of $1,182 was anticipated. Bitcoin has finally arrived if you're interested. You can see that Ethereum did in fact hit $30 profit target. Today we go ahead and revise that file. But for those who have been following along, and by the way, we're canceling our buy bits order and closing out our Ethereum position. It's lost $10,000. The order has already netted us $53,000 in profit. However, we'd like not to give away any additional openings. This is happening way too fast, you know. We had some short orders at 1730 and 1760. As you know, therefore, we decided to insert a tiny piece of a short into this. However, it ignored resistance and surged higher in the back of bullish news, which we will discuss at the length below. However, it was unable to withstand the onslaught of positive reports. This order will be reduced immediately. We've decided to take a hit, give back a portion of the money we've been making. Okay, we'll take at 75 and call it a day. But in reality, we are currently at the support level. Folks, we're expanding our horizons beyond that deal. We'll sum up the remaining 25%. If we get very high, we might try our hand at another short. Therefore, we'd like to hold on to a small amount for that purpose. However, we are in a position to engage in short sales at present because we already hold a large quantity of of Bitcoin and Ethereum, both of which are appreciating in value. This is obviously not a major business transaction. You can see that we took off some points of profits. The trade only netted us $45,000 in profit, but oh well, still a profit of $45,000 in a matter of days is not to be sniffed at. Now you folks want to trade for yourselves, we will continue to share all of these trades with you, like we typically do here. And then, to the incredibly lucrative bots right here and the massively profitable trade right here, we will also be revised in this record. For what purpose then are these enormous pumps installed? BlackRock is rumored to be planning to seed their spot Bitcoin ETF by the end of October. This could indicate what we intend to begin adding Bitcoin to the ETF, either in little or large quantities. We will soon begin too, but we have no idea. For the first time ever, thanks to SEC rule, it is legal to dump on financial institutions. They can't buy Bitcoin until the ETF is officially active, and they've announced it. This then is the story of what went down at Fidelity. They attempted to acquire Ethereum or Bitcoin ahead of the debut of their ETF, but the SEC came out and effectively compelled them to sell their Bitcoin. You can now acquire Bitcoin before large financial institutions do, as this is the first time this has ever happened. As a result, we can't fathom why Bitcoin enthusiasts are still on the fence. We certainly are charging way far more than we used to. People seem hesitant between ages 27 and 28, but why? We can't say for sure. Sooner or later, however, that ETF will be sanctioned. After that, institutional FOMO will begin. Now, aside from that, we also have the possibility of the real ticker being listed on the Nasdaq clearing BTCC. IBTC will be the ticker for BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust. So this is a very great ticker. IBTC, it's simple and pleasant. So this is it, guys. This will be the official ticker once it is authorized. Okay, let's keep going. Let's begin with the discussion of what seeding the ETF actually entails. We doubt that BlackRock will put up hundreds of millions to seed this venture. Instead, it means that they will invest in the fund or a day or two before it is expected to listing date. Seeding it or getting it started may cost anything from $500,000 to several million. Anything beyond this point, however, is likely to cause extreme FOMO, as investors will have to buy Bitcoin to contribute to the ETF. If you are observing Bitcoin trade volume, the vast majority of that activity was conducted on OKX. It makes us happy to see so many OKX users making money off this upswing. They were prepared for this shift in the market and positioned themselves accordingly. As a result, Bitcoin prices rose dramatically, with OKX serving as the primary trading venue. This pattern demonstrates that OKX is expanding at a steady rate, so sign up for OKX immediately through the description links if you haven't already. Bitcoin's momentum on both the weekly and monthly timescales is just getting started. We're in for a wild ride. Therefore, if you appreciate this information, make sure to subscribe and activate the bell symbol. We can't wait to keep in touch with you in the coming update.